Hi, I'm Callie Walker. I'm an actress from Darman.
Hi, Callie. My name is Victor. I'm guest co-hosting. I have my own podcast called The Dark Pretend Asians, but we've been kind of taking a break and hiatus for a while. So luckily, Ryo had called me in to come and co-host for him. So um, also, thanks for having me. And nice meeting you. So Darman, I've heard about it. I think it's called what, Changing Lives Production
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I love the messages. Tell me about that experience you had. What made it different than other productions you've been on?
Well, what makes it different is that it's like an anthology series. So,
Mm,
I've been working on Darman for 2 years now, but it's a completely different character and a completely different plot every single episode. So never a dull moment. Also, like, I've just never been on any other project for that long. So it's like I have made like all of my best friends on that set. And it just kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting because I remember when there was a point where like walking onto set felt like new and exciting, but like walking onto the Darman set just kind of feels like, like home.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going because I know Ryo had interviewed you before, but just to refresh everyone's memory and also um, introduce, I guess, your background to me. So how did you start in acting? What was that like? How did that process go?
Yeah, so it was actually super random. I am not an artistic person at all. I didn't do anything like this growing up. I just played sports and I was super into academics, like anything but this.
Mm,
Um, and I randomly decided on a whim in high school that I wanted to go to art school. And so I applied to a boarding art school called Idyllwild Arts Academy here in Southern California. Um, and I went for theater. I didn't even last a full semester as a theater major. It was not my thing. And I switched to film production. And so I learned, all the behind the scenes stuff, but it was during COVID, so we couldn't bring in outside actors. So I got to act in a bunch of my friends' films, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So I decided instead of going to in-person college, I was gonna move out to LA the day I graduated high school. And I've been out here ever since.
very nice. I've heard the Idlewild. Funny, my background is in teaching, and I think I applied there. I think my application is actually pending to teach, so we'll see how that goes. But that's just a little tidbit about me. But
That's so cool.
Of
It's a pretty
course,
awesome place.
I heard, yeah, I heard.
like Victor said, you've been on my show, 1 week from but last week. But about Darman, we'll get more detailed and get into it. What have you
Gossip.
yes, I want to get more into the football scene. I'm sorry, but it's just more. It's so interesting to me. You have the clip of it on your Instagram. How was it? I know you said about the hair and how they wanted to have the hair thing. So what was the moment like? Did you put on you had to put all the pads on, right? And
Yeah.
makeup and everything. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, those pads are not made for a 5 foot tall girl.
That's what I want to talk about. I remember.
It was really bad, honestly. There was like nothing that fit, even the socks that they had were like huge. Um, and it was just so I remember um all the other guys, like all the extras who played like my football teammates and the other team, they all played football and they're all these huge guys. And I do my own stunts, that's what they hired me for. Um, but they were actually tackling me. My neck still clicks weird sometimes because of that episode. Like
Real quick follow-up. They really actually tackled you.
they were doing their best to be gentle, especially Marcus who played Donnie, I think was his character's name. I'm so bad at remembering people's characters'
No,
names.
it's okay.
Um, but he played like my boyfriend that was on the football team, and he kept having to tackle me, and he was like trying his best to be gentle about it, but like you have to do so many takes that like no matter how gentle you try to tackle someone to the ground and fall on top of them, after 30 times it hurts.
Mm.
I just, it was just curious about that scene. You know, we didn't get too much details about that, but wow, I didn't know you got tackled like 30 times. Anyway.
I did, and I trained football. I like had my I come from a big sports family, so I had my mom teach me like the basics of how to throw a football, and then I did a private lesson to like really get my form down.
Mhm.
I did a few like stunt classes just to work on like there were a few scenes where I had to like do a flip over uh someone who was trying to tackle me and then land and roll out of it. That scene, by the way, frustrates me so much to this day because normally when you do a stunt, right, you film it where you don't actually do it, but they cut around it to make it look like you did it. Somehow in this episode, they made me actually do everything and then they cut around it to make it look like it was completely fake. I was like, how did you manage that? So that the behind the scenes videos of when I did the flip over like the linebacker or whatever, it looked awesome. Like I have those videos on my phone and it looked awesome. But when you look at it on the episode, it looks like I didn't do it at all. I'm like,
Well, thank you for sharing that. I learned something new, and the audience will learn more. Well, I appreciate it. I just had to ask that.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That's good that you do your own stunts. And you had mentioned you played sports and other things as well too. Can you mention some of the other skills that you have that you're able to implement in film, and how important do you think it is to have those extra skills when you're auditioning or when you're trying to get other roles?
oh my gosh, I think the extra skills are so important, especially when it comes to things like commercials. You
Yeah.
know, like there's so many people auditioning, and there's so many like 20-year-old brunette girls that want to act. Like, you need something to make you stand out. And like being a good actor is not enough because there's a lot of good actors out there. Like,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of good actors who are girls who can play football and do a flip. Like,
Mhm.
you know, so when it comes to like looking for something in particular, um, any special skill you have that'll set you apart from everyone else is really going to drive you forward in your career. Other special skills I have, I mean, I've played like every sport ever, and you know, that's translated well to stunts. I'm really good at picking up other languages. So, I've done a lot of voiceover and dubbing. Um, and like accents and stuff. I do well with that. And then um as we talked about last week, I am a pre-law student and I work for
Mhm.
the district attorney's office. So
Nice.
I am very familiar with legal terminology as well. Not that I'm at the age where I might be playing any lawyers, but
Well, no, that's important to have actually, especially if you're going
Mhm.
to produce your own films or, you know, being the head of your own production. I think that's a very valuable, uh, knowledge and skill to have.
Yes.
You mentioned those languages. What are some of the languages that you've been learning?
oh my gosh, it's always something new on Duolingo. I've been taking I've been taking French the longest. Um, a lot of my family members speak French, and then I went all the way through honors French 5 in high school. And then when I started college, they were like, "You're required to take 3 years of language. We only offer French and only up through French 3." And I was like, "Great. So I get to start over in French 1." So I very well versed in French 1. Um,
Mhm.
and then I've studied like Russian, and I've done like a lot of like the basics of like random languages, but I feel like those are the only ones I could use.
Russian is it's a difficult language. It's a different
Right.
alphabet, right? The Cyrillic alphabet. So
Yeah.
you have to learn a whole new alphabet
Mhm.
to just for the basics. So that's pretty. And French is not easy. That's
No,
why a
Yeah.
it's
lot of
not.
people.
And they
That's why
will
a lot of
judge
people.
you real hard if you get it
Oh yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I've been to
Yes,
France, and
100%, Callie,
yeah,
100%.
I
I've
was
been to
supposed
France.
to speak
Yeah,
French in France. Like,
you know,
I have enough self-esteem issues.
Hmm.
yeah. France is they're brutal. If you can't speak with the proper accent, you're better off speaking English
They'll
to them.
guillotine you.
They'll give you that look, like, yeah, yeah. So I know what you mean by that. Yeah, that's
They'll
good. That's
immediately
impressive, though.
talk in
French and
English.
Russian. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's US true because the French, you gotta know because if they look at you like, wait a minute, are you trying to say that, but you're not saying it right. So,
Yeah.
um, 100%. As a young actress, as you know, I believe I asked you this before, but I'll ask again. Do you where do you see your next potential dream role you like to have? Like, what's your favorite genre that you want to be in?
Um, I mean, I've been on this kids show for so long. I would love to do something a little more grounded, more of a drama. Um, that would be really fun. Or I would really love to be, I know I'm not old enough right now, but I would love to be on some kind of crime show or law show. Criminal
Mhm.
Minds is my favorite show ever. And I would just love to do something like that one day.
I love Criminal Minds. I remember we talked about. I love
Yeah.
Criminal Minds. It's my favorite show. It's actually
Nice.
amazing. I can't stop watching it because I don't know how many seasons there is, but it's
Watch it
amazing.
over and over. 17.
Oh, it's seven. Oh, see, you more
Oh,
than
wow.
me. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier when you talked about Dark Man, your experience there, and you're able to gain a lot of friends there. In this industry, I think in the previous show we had asked how important it is to have a good, positive group of friends in this industry. Although there's a camaraderie, there's a family aspect in this industry. It's also cutthroat. It's competitive. I know a lot of people don't like to use that word. It is competitive, but how important is it to you to build that group of friends, a positive group of friends, um, as you're going along in this journey?
I think it's so important to have a great group of friends. I mean, like, no matter where you are. But I also think it's really important to like stop it with the like competitive BS because like you're misdirecting your energy there. Like
Mhm.
you're not really competing with other, like I get it because it's like the role's going to go to one person or the other. Like you're not both going to get the role. So I get why it looks competitive, but it's like at the end of the day, like you're not gonna not get the role like over your friend really. Like it doesn't come down to that. And if you do your best and you just focus on like improving your acting, like that's really what's important because like you're not identical to your friend, you don't look the same as your friend, you don't sound the same as your friend. And a lot of what casting comes down to is like your look. um
Mhm.
I just think like the cutthroat like competitive stuff, it's one of the things I hate most about this industry, honestly.
Mhm.
I love my friends. I love to see my friends succeed. And I think I just don't understand people who want anything other than good things for their friends.
That's true.
That's true.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
agree with you. I think although that element is there, it starts with one. That's why that's why I pose that question about having that group of friends, that are there to support you because unfortunately you have pockets of negativity out there, and
Mhm.
it's a lot of it is unwarranted, and a lot of it no one wants to deal with. So you have to sort of push push that back and dismiss yourself and go to more positive um, crowd because again for mental health and to push yourself forward you have to have that positive reinforcement, you have to have people that think alike and supportive of each other, and I think that that's absolutely awesome that you want to see your friends succeed. It's not always like that, but I think that's you have a really good head in your shoulders, and I think if more people like that in the industry think that way, um, there wouldn't be all that stuff. But unfortunately, that's the way it works. But that's awesome that you think that way, and that's awesome that you have that mindset.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was about to say the similar message, but Victor beat me to that. But my next follow-up question is mental health. We'll focus on mental health here. Is as this in society, entertainment industry, also outside of the entertainment industry, and a regular basis of life, do you believe that we as a human society and as the world, the United States, that we are not talking enough about mental health? And do you also believe that as well? And do you know what's the solution that you believe that we can start a conversation about mental health, and not coming from the entertainment industry, but as a regular person in the streets or in schools or in football field or any field, or any sports? What's your opinion or your mindset of how we can start talking about mental health? Because also I believe that mental health is, we're afraid to talk about it, and I don't know why we should be afraid to talk about it. We should not be afraid to talk about it. That's what I mean. Because I'm a mental health advocate, and I'm a proud of, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but I suffer depression, so it's okay for me to talk about my mental health. It's very important to talk about mental health. So back to my question was like, what can we do as a society, and not from the entertainment, but from anywhere? How can we start the conversation?
Well, I mean, I think it's really important just to start off by acknowledging how important mental health is. Like, I'm a big advocate for like mental health care too. I have been in therapy every single week since I was 8 years old, and I think it's made me a better person, just to have a solid place to like, work through your feelings, to gain a better understanding of yourself, and coping mechanisms. It makes you, a better person to be around when you can handle your own feelings and you're not taking things out on other people. And when like, when you develop a bunch of like maladaptive coping skills, you're being like passive aggressive, you're like, dumping your feelings on other people. You're just like, that's not um so I think if it was more like normalized to just go to therapy, but also therapy is expensive and not a lot of insurance covers or fully covers therapy. So I mean, I think there's like structural things in there that need to be done in order to support mental health care too. I'm so annoying because you're saying like not from an entertainment industry perspective, and all I'm thinking is like a legal perspective, and Gascon the election and his mental health diversion proposition.
Mhm.
No,
I have
I'm
a lot to say
sorry.
about that, but that has no place here.
I somehow knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. But it gives you a really interesting perspective on things like that, because it's like, as much as I think it's important to like acknowledge mental health and the impact that that has on your life, I also think it's equally important to acknowledge that that doesn't like absolve you of accountability for your actions, like it's good
Mhm.
to understand why people do the things they do, but you can't excuse people's behavior or expect other people to excuse your behavior just because you're struggling with something.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I mean, I think when mental health becomes a conversation where it's like making excuses for not, working on yourself, or for, being a bad person or treating people disrespectfully, I think that's where it becomes dangerous. But if you can, help support people understand where they're coming from and be willing to work on things, I think that's where it becomes productive.
Yes, 100%. That's a good message. Other than your legal mindset there for a minute. The one thing I will say is that, we don't, like I said, we don't talk about mental health enough, and I feel like that we as a human society, and, anywhere around the world, but, we don't, there's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like we're afraid to talk about it to even our
Mhm.
own friends and family. And but
Yeah.
also part of it is that, it's we as human beings, we notice our friends are going through something. We should at
Mhm.
least call and say, hey, are you really okay? Let's have coffee or let's have dinner, or I'm in your area. Let me stop by. And that's how you're going to show that person's like, wow, for example, oh, Callie really cares about me. You brought me coffee at home, right? So something like that, how we can show, how we can talk about it and say, hey, talk to me what you're going through. That's how we can start the conversation, and the word spreads. So your message is really good. I totally agree. If we have to do something, and it's the conversation needs to be started, and we, as myself, would love to just keep that conversation going and spread awareness, especially in the entertainment industry. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautifully said, Callie. I love your response and your solution to it as well too. Overall, and I also love that you keep up with local politics. That's
I have
I
to.
no, that's good. It's good
that's
for
good. I just
especially where you're working. Yeah, yeah. I teach government. I taught government over the summer, and I just wish I had the same passion from my students. But hey, look, it's a summer. They were trying to just get it over with and get that credit. But no, but that is awesome that you're able to be involved in it, and also the mental health. Um, some will talk about it, but you offer solutions, and I think that's what we need. So beautifully said. I'm going
thank
to
you.
switch gears for a second here. Okay. Um, I'm old enough to remember that when we didn't have cell phones, and all these avenues. Yeah, I'm that old. Um, and nowadays you have a lot of these avenues and platforms where you can make your own film, right? And with the streaming services and what have you. And I'm a big proponent of doing your own stuff, right? If you were able to write and produce your own film, do that in the or go that direction. Is there a character that you want to play, or a genre or a story that you had in mind that would showcase your full arsenal of your acting talent?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. Um,
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I just thought you have a lot of good ideas. You have you have experience. You have a good head on your shoulders. And you're creative. I figured like there's something that you want to do as far as making your own stuff. So.
yeah, I mean, I feel like in terms of like a full range of like, it would have to be something that included like sports or stunts or something,
Mm.
like maybe some kind of like where I get to play like the villain in a horror movie or something, some kind of like demonic entity or something. I kind of got to do that in one episode of Darman. And
Oh,
I
sweet.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I
Please.
feel like I got to exercise a lot of range in that, you know. I would love to do something like that again.
Okay. That's interesting. That's the first I heard, but that's awesome though. I mean, I think that's what you want to those are the emotions that you want to convey, that you want to display. And I think that's awesome. That's the first time I ever. I don't know. Usually people want to do drama and action, but you went straight up horror with stunts. I love it, and sports. So
I
that's
always
cool.
I always love the episodes where I'm like the mean girl, but I get a redemption arc, or like a mean girl, but you find out that
Mm,
it's because I'm like secretly being abused at home or something. Like, I feel like you really get to play the full range of like, you know, all the way from bully to victim. Those are fun.
you're gonna have to start typing that then pretty soon.
Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. I'm the worst. I'm a good writer, as in
Uh-huh.
like, I can do the actual writing. I'm so bad at like ideas. I'm the only person who ever got away with graduating my high school film program without ever having written a screenplay. Fun fact.
Hey, but you had other skills and talents, so
I did.
that's
I
that's all.
directed it.
That's why it's
Yeah,
a team, right? Yeah, that's why it's a team.
exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's
That's what
awesome.
we
That's
tell
cool.
ourselves.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome. You said you like horror films.
Hmm.
Um, you know, and let's talk about some horror films. I don't know if we
Mm.
mentioned them last time I had you on, but if I did, we can talk about it again. What is your favorite uh horror film? And if you could be a character in one of those horror films, what character would you like to be in that
Oh,
horror film? And
Ooh.
also, just the second question is, this sounds weird. Would you rather, you don't want to be would you like to be the first person to die on the horror film, or would you like to be the last one?
I would like to be the one doing the killing.
I knew it. Who doesn't? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Um, as someone studying to be a criminal prosecutor, um, I love to commit murder. But um, my favorite right now, did you see Abigail, the new one? The
Yes.
ballerina girl who's secretly a
Mm.
vampire?
Okay.
Yes.
That was awesome. And it was genuinely so funny. Like the dry humor actually landed. I feel like a lot of horror movies, the first horror movie I ever saw was It when I was in like 8th grade or whatever. And the usher had to come and give me like multiple warnings and almost threw me out because I was laughing so hard because every time he would do his like scary face where his eyes would roll around and his tongue would come out, I thought it was hilariously stupid and everyone else was like terrified. And I'm like, that's dumb. Like normally when horror movies are like funny, it's because they like, you know, are stupid. But like Abigail, like it went for like humorous dialogue and it was actually spot on. I loved it. And it was Alicia Ware is so great. She did amazing. The little
Yes.
girl who
Nice.
Sorry, I saw Abigail, and it was actually amazing.
yeah,
Kind of horror, kind of gets you on your seat. In my opinion. So it was really good, and I'm actually surprised you watched it. Not many people have watched it yet, but it's actually really good. I
it's
am
really
so
good at
happy.
here and it was awesome. I got a t-shirt and I like wear it all the time. I wore it to babysit. I babysit my boss's kids sometimes when she, like has to stay at work. And they're 2, 5, and 5. And I wore my Abigail shirt the other day and they were like, because it's her with like vampire teeth and like blood all down her like ballerina costume. And I was like,
Did you get in trouble?
fake. I know I just had to go find another shirt in my car.
Wow.
Those kids will be probably got traumatized for a moment.
Forever.
They're
They're
okay now, probably.
They're so funny. They were like asking about work that day, and I work with their mom at the DA's office, and I was explaining, kind of what we do to the 5-year-olds, and I was saying, like when bad guys commit crimes, we go to court and decide what happens to them. And this sweet, innocent 5-year-old little child looks up at me and goes, "And then you kill them?" No.
That's I'm sorry. I should not be laughing. That's so horrible. I'm so
That's funny.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I
So
should.
funny.
It's so funny, but yes, that is yeah, I shouldn't be laughing. But that's I mean,
Really funny. Not expecting that.
well, I wasn't either. But thank you for mentioning all of that.
Are you sure you want to be a criminal prosecutor? No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
That's
All of the
it's
criminal
acting. It's
prosecutors
acting.
ask me that every day. They're like, "This sucks. Are you sure you want to do this?"
As opposed to being a real life killer, right? No, just kidding. But but I want to digress a little bit. You had mentioned all the skills that you had with sports and doing your own stunts. Are there any skills that you want to learn and you want to get better at that you want to implement in film?
Yeah, I've been working on trying to learn to sing
Oh,
well.
nice. Okay. Well,
Uh, yeah, because I can sing, but I don't think anyone wants to hear it. Um, So yeah, I've been taking voice lessons for a few years and I've definitely been getting better. There have been a few occasions where I have had a character, an established character, and they need me to sing something all of a sudden, something short. And it's like, if it's something that gets thrown in there, I'm not going to burst anyone's eardrums, but I'm certainly not auditioning for musicals anytime soon.
Who are your some of your favorite artists, if you have any?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Michelle Branch. Kind of,
Oh, I
yeah.
love. You're okay. You're dating back to like my
Oh yeah,
days.
retro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michelle.
I have all
Yeah.
of the CDs and I love them.
Oh,
I
nice.
collect CDs, which is how I find a lot of my music.
What's your favorite song from her? What's your favorite song from her?
Oh my gosh. It changes like every day. I'd say
Okay.
everywhere, but I feel like that's really
First
basic.
one. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What else do I love? I love Love Me Like That with Sheryl Crow.
Oh,
And
okay. It's a good one.
the Wreckers, her duo that only lasted for one album.
Which one?
She was part of a country duo for like, you
Sheryl
know,
Crow.
no, Michelle Branch.
Oh, Michelle Branch. Okay, I
Mhm.
didn't know that.
Jessica Harp.
Okay.
But they have a song called Leave the Pieces that I love.
Mhm.
I love Michelle Branch. It was just more recent because I know it since
So
the 90s, but
that was
yeah,
2006. 2006.
yeah, 2006. Okay, so a little bit after
Right, right.
her debut. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I love that you like Michelle Branch. I think that was the innocent days back then.
Yeah. I yeah. She's interesting. She's got that country pop crossover thing. I know Taylor Swift used to love her back when she was like a teenager.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but who else do I like? I love Paramore so much.
Okay.
Um, Liz Hewitt. I love her music. And then the Dixie Chicks, they have a few songs that I just love. Um, who else? I don't know. Yeah, I'd say those are like my top artists right now.
That's awesome. That's good. Yeah. It's good range of artists and styles, but just that wholesome, I guess, not folk, but country pop mix is
Right.
I guess like your taste, but it's good. Again, Michelle Branch. Once the Michelle Branch, I lost it. I love Michelle Branch. So yeah,
It's
Breathe is
funny.
my favorite song. Breathe is my favorite song.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I love Breathe.
Yeah,
There are so
so
many
good.
different songs called Breathe. Why does everyone have a song called Breathe? Like Anna
Because I
Nally,
think
Michelle Branch, Breathe, Faith Hill, Breathe, Taylor
Breathe.
Swift, Breathe.
Right.
Everyone has a song called Breathe. Or the
Mhm.
chorus is like Breathe, like that Dashboard Confessional song.
Oh
Reason to
yeah, that song.
Remember that song? Yeah. You're dating back in the 2000s now. Okay. It's my era. I was afraid when I asked that question. I was like, she's gonna talk about artists that I don't know. And which is like recent. I'm gonna be like, oh my, I'm gonna be like, I know that person. I know, and I'm gonna pretend I don't. So I'm gonna pretend I do. But once you said Michelle Branch, my eyes lit up. I'm like, oh, you're getting all the way back there. Okay,
I was
cool.
very
No, but
surprised too.
yeah, I know. I saw
because
your reaction too.
I decided I wanted to like expand my music taste more because I'm the kind of person where it's like I don't like to listen to a ton of different stuff at once. I like to listen to like 5 different songs over and over until I hate them. And then I'm like, well, I need new music now. And so I started every time I would take like my younger sister to Goodwill or whatever, I would get like just whatever CDs they had, regardless of what they were. And I'd listen to all of them at least once. And it was just like a good way because you never know what you're gonna get when you just pick up all the CDs at Goodwill. So it was a
Right.
great way to diversify my music taste and like, get into some older stuff. And like I've always loved like Fleetwood Mac and like Billy Joel and Connie
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
and all my Better Than Ezra, all my parents'
Oh my
music.
God, stop.
Wow.
Oh man, better than Ezra. How do you, okay, you have an old soul. I love it. I love it. Better than Ezra. Yeah. Good. Right. That's the little one hit wonder, but you are, okay. You were born in the wrong era.
I know.
You were. And I'm going to be biased. That was when music was great. Excuse me.
No, but you're right though. I like walk around with my stupid CDs and my MP3 player like a loser and listen to my actual good music.
No, I love that. I love that.
You
Oh
still
my
do that?
gosh.
Yeah.
You still have
I
that?
I still have my
Classic.
2 MP3 players. They're right there actually.
Nice.
Because I actually okay, I had like an interesting phase where I like got all of Taylor Swift's unreleased music, and the only way to listen to that really like in a playlist is like on an MP3 player.
Mhm.
So I used to go to a school where we weren't allowed any like phones or anything, so we had MP3 players. So I loaded it all on my MP3 player and I started using it again because of that. But her unreleased songs are questionable. I have like dating back to the first song she ever wrote when she was 12 years old, and it was good
Wow.
writing. It just
Wow.
wasn't good singing at all.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
I'm still amazed of your taste. It's good. No, Fleetwood Mac, and then you went from Better than
That's what I
Ezra. I'm
was
like, oh
saying.
my goodness. That's my era. I'm like, I feel nostalgic right now. I'm just still
Right.
I'm happy right now. I have a smile as big as the Joker. That's why, because I was afraid. I was like, should I ask that question? What if she says these like latest artists that I don't know, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, like these that I know. But like
The only thing
I
I
mean, you made
listened
my
to is
day.
the toilet song on repeat.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that's amazing.
That's awesome. I love it.
Um, I know you talked about this when I had you on my show last time, and it's kind of crazy since you talked about Taylor Swift. You knew everything about Taylor Swift.
Only in 2007 and before.
Yes, 2007 and before, and you were telling me that everybody probably thought you were crazy and a stalker.
They're justified in thinking that. That's weird of me.
And it's true, right? You knew everything about her.
Well, if we want to talk about the legal definition of stalking, it's not, but I do know a lot about her.
Yeah, I remember you talked about it on my show, and I remember everybody thought you were crazy.
A little bit. I mentioned, okay, we did this Darman live stream thing, right? For the
Oh,
Kids' Choice Awards, and we all had to show like a special talent. Um,
Right.
and I offered to do a whole bunch of things. Like I offered to do a backflip, and they were like, "Well, you can't move." So I was like, "Okay, I mean, either I can show them that my elbows are double jointed, or I can show them my Taylor Swift trick. They can give me any day in 2007. I can tell them what she did." And they were like, "Okay, well, that's weird. So show them your elbows." And then they got to me, and I was like, "I'm doing my Taylor Swift trick."
So
And then I was like, "Call the FBI."
so everything that you said was true.
Yeah, I would think so.
You think so?
I honestly haven't watched that live back, but
Everybody's like, call the FBI on Callie.
no, she knows the loopholes, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
It's my job.
that's what she's studying.
I,
Exactly.
I have so many DAs on my side here.
That's that's a that's a good thing. Those are good people to have. I know some people like, oh, I need mafia around me. No, DA and a judge. If you have that, you're
I had I had some case like a few months ago that I just like it was not going like they wouldn't even assign a detective to it. And so I went in and told the DA, they were like, "We're taking you down to the Bureau of Investigation right now." I was like, there we go.
That's
nice.
amazing.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
They're awesome. Everyone at the DA's office is so nice.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that, but I'll take your word for it.
Same here.
but I'm hearing from different
Not
perspectives,
the
Kelly.
defense
So
attorneys though. They're
yeah,
all they're all very interesting.
at least that, right? That's good. That's good. I want to ask maybe the last question, but is there any projects in the forefront for you that you can talk about, or perhaps that you are looking to do?
Upcoming projects. So season 1 English version of a Paramount Plus show called Socorro. And then
Ooh, Paramount Plus. Okay, I love it.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and then a feature film on Amazon Prime called Josephine. I think those are
Okay.
the main ones we've got on the docket, and then always more Darman.
Amazing.
Nice. I'm gonna try to pick your brain here. Even you could say no, but Sakura, the one that's on Paramount Plus, is it a Taylor Sheridan written show?
No.
No, okay.
So
No,
I
okay,
should
okay.
know
But
that.
okay, maybe I just because I know I'm a big fan of his. He's done what is it like the 19 what is it Yellowstone 1923, 1883, Tulsa King, all that crime mystery stuff. So I love that. Mayor of Kingstown, all mostly on Paramount Plus. When I heard that, I was like, I wonder if it's Taylor Sheridan written show, but
I don't think
maybe
so.
it's not. But maybe you're not saying you can't say anything. But other than that, that's awesome. Amazon and Paramount Plus. That's two things to look forward to. I love it.
That's amazing.
Sakura and Josephine.
Mhm.
We gotta definitely keep our eye on it.
Yeah, definitely we need to.
I don't know when
100%.
their one is coming out. We finished Sakura well over a year ago. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know when that's coming out, but
Should be soon then, right?
I don't know if I'm allowed to
Hopefully.
say that, but I did.
Hopefully soon. You'll have to let us know.
I
Yeah,
will.
for sure.
As soon as I know, you'll know.
Yes, we will keep our eye out on for it,
That's exciting though. Too. It's great. It's great work
and that
though.
is really exciting.
Yeah,
And of course you have Darman. So and
Right.
that sounds
Darman is
awesome.
public
Yeah,
on YouTube, so anybody can go on there and
yeah.
look it up. And so
Great
amazing.
messages too. I love that platform. Good messages.
Same here. I love Darman platform.
I'm not
Mhm.
usually the one with the good messages since I'm the mean girl, but
Hey, you're playing
uh,
your part. You're playing your part
exactly.
in the bigger picture. So
Right.
that's awesome.
Right.
Can't teach a lesson without someone to teach the lesson to.
There you go. That's it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And you would say that you have one of the more important roles. So it's a good thing. It's again teamwork, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. So I think that's Starman's motto there.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
tell myself that again next time I have to go and someone for
Kill
being
somebody. Yeah. That's awesome. No, that's great work though. That's good, and you have a lot of things coming up,
Mhm.
and bright future, and a lot of talent, a lot of skills, and you're working for the DA, so there's a lot of things that you're looking forward. So that's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it really is amazing. So keep it up.
Yeah.
And thank you for a
Maybe one day I'll find time to sleep.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that's true. Maybe you can get some good sleep, and
Yeah.
all right.
I'll
So
sleep when I'm dead. Law school.
Oh man.
Oh, Callie. Callie. You're the one who said it. We didn't,
I, I, I plead the fifth.
both of us are innocent,
Yeah,
both of us are innocent.
You have DAs and judges on your side.
We can't say nothing,
I know how the government works, so I studied enough. So
Yeah, we just
we're
keep our
kidding.
mouths shut.
We love it though.
We love it. We
All
love
good
it.
fun. All good fun though.
It's good. The humor and the
Yeah.
fun. We appreciate it. You make
Love it.
us laugh, make the audience laugh. And that's how
Yeah.
we're going to spread happiness. It also helps with
Yeah.
mental health with that as well. So, well,
There
thank
you
you for coming on my show again.
Thank you for having me again. It's always a great time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
and
Callie.
I look forward to having you back.
Thanks. I look forward to being back. And it was so nice to meet you, Victor.
Likewise, great work, and it was a pleasure to talking to you and getting to know you. And I love everything you said. And again, good head on your shoulders, and sky's the limit. And I truly mean that.
Yes,
means-
and then let us know about your upcoming projects. Let me know,
Yes.
and I would have you back as soon as possible.
We're gonna keep our eye on it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I will too. I want to know as bad as you.
Right. You'll let us know. Yeah.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Callie,
Awesome.
and please keep me up there, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Well, have a great night, guys.
All right, you
Thank
too.
you,
All
Callie.
right, bye-bye.
Appreciate it.